Hi, I'm Sarah, your fantasy girl. Week 2 is done and it's time for me to give you the most enjoyable fantasy review you'll get all week. First up, who is my fantasy stud? Well, every week there's a list of worthy young men who vie for my attention, but I'm going to go with Tom, that's just my baby daddy Brady of the New England Patriots. Look, we all know what a stud he is off the field, but 2 weeks into the season with his new toys, and he's completing nearly 80% of his passes. Yeah, 80%. He's also throwing for nearly 300 yards per game with 3 TDs each week. And let's not forget, his coach is a little hot under the hoodie about that Videogate, so he'll be looking to run up the score on every team he faces this season. Translation, huge numbers for Tommy Boy. And for every stud, there's a dud. And this week there's a hot, steaming pile of fantasy duds to choose from. I could go with S. Jax, who should have his Nike commercial ripped from the airwaves. Or maybe the Bengals D, who earned their owners negative points in most leagues. Or how about LT, whose Charger offense ran about as well as OJ's sting operation. Those are all good choices, but I'm going to have to go with Buffalo's Lee Evans, who neglected to tell fantasy owners on draft day that he'd be taking the entire season off. 4 receptions for 22 yards in 2 games. Really, Lee? Thanks for nothing. And who is my Week 2 fantasy dream? Well, since he came out of nowhere, it's got to be Derek Anderson of the Browns. I love me that strong, silent type. After the Browns traded Charlie Fry and Brady Quinn got a week's worth of premature hype, Anderson stepped quietly in and led his team to half a hundy against the division rival. D had 5 touchdown passes to outduel his Pac-10 counterpart Carson Palmer in a game that had a college football score. Derek's performance against the Bengals proves that when the moment is right, there's a stud in every man.